Hey YouTube, this is John the Purple One. Today I'm going to talk about commo and different radios. Now I have a bunch of radios here, and I didn't really want to do one video for each radio. I think that would be redundant. I wanted to put them all together and just show you different radios, different cost, different power, as in wattage. And you can't say the ones that aren't very powerful are no good, because they aren't. I'll tell you why. But my wife was a trooper, because I got on my e-bike and I took the 4 radios and drove all over. And what I found is these are all line-of-sight radios. So when in my area, in my testing, I'm in the mountains, so I could go a quarter mile away and I could drop down major elevation and have a mountain in my way. Oh, and then I could go back up. So it depends where I am to get commo. So sometimes it was best if I went further away to get higher elevation so I could talk to her. So she was a trooper, and this did many times I'd go out because I always wanted to test something else. So I'm going to show you some radios. I'm trying to get my radio plan knocked down, and then I can get the stuff, protected, EMP protected, and get it put up. Another reason I want to hustle and get it done is you don't know what's going on in this crazy world. Plus, if shipping stops, all of this stuff, sad to say, comes from China. So if they cut us off, there's not going to be this stuff available. And if it is available, whatever's in the country, if people panic and want to get radios, the price is going to go crazy. Plus, we all rely on that cell phone. And if something happens to that cell phone, it would be nice to be able to communicate with neighbors, with loved ones. I know people right now are using these radios all the time. The radio I'm looking for has to be easy. Some of these radios are bought for the purpose of giving out. So I'm going around to different areas near me, and I'm seeing where I can communicate. Because I would rather give someone a $20, $30 radio, even a $5, $6, $8 radio, and know I can communicate with them. To me, it's an investment into my community. A lot of people aren't thinking right now they need commo or backup power or backup commo. If you take people's cell phones away and it goes down, people will do whatever to get a radio so they can communicate. And then we can push messages and requests to our local fire department. We could push it all the way to our sheriff's department and try to get assistance. So let's go over some radios. Now, whatever I'm going to tell you, make sure you abide by all laws, federal, state, local laws. That is your responsibility to make sure you're doing everything legal. So if I say something, it's probably referring to a grid down event. So right now we have to abide by all laws, and you should, so you don't get in trouble. I will say GMRS, you need a license. It's basically just paying your money, and they will give you the privilege and a call sign to talk on GMRS. Yes, ham radios, you got to take a test and then pay and get your license, but GMRS is free. Family radio, GMRS is, you got to pay for it, but there's no test. Family radio, FRS, is totally free. You don't have to have a test, or you don't have to pay money to get a license. Same thing with MERS. So let's get right into it. First radio is a Retevis. I think they're all, yes, all Retevises. Let me back up one second. Baofeng, the best radio out there, hands down. I have a bunch of them. As you can see, it is sort of complicated. The radio I'm trying to find is to be given out to people. So yes, the Baofeng could be given out. I don't want to give Baofeng radios out because they're a little bit more complicated. The older ones were called open, so you had the ability to program more frequencies and get more use out of your radio. Recently, they have closed that route. Some people say you can still find the open ones on eBay, and then there's other people say you can open it yourself by doing some pressing of some keys, but I will tell you, obey all federal laws. So the Baofeng is a great radio, but there's a lot of stuff on here. And it is confusing if you don't use this every day. So Baofeng is my #1 go-to for people in our group and other preppers. So give out radios. First one I'm going to mention is the Retevis. This is the RT21V, and I will put some links in here. And yes, these are Amazon associate links, so if you purchase through my link, I do make a small percentage. It doesn't cost you any more. But if I don't put the links there, I will get 50 million requests. Hey, do you have the link for this? So I will put the link in there for you. This is MERS, Multi-Use Radio Service. If you're familiar with Dakota Alerts, they use the MERS frequencies. So these are very, very inexpensive radios. 6 of them for $50. 6 of them for $50. They have 5 channels on them. You turn the unit on.
1.
And you have 5 channels.
5.
You just turn it. You have a push to talk button. And you have the ability to put an earphone in there. So these are very, very low power. And I tested them, and a lot of places wouldn't work. But I want to tell you, I'm going to buy some more of these. I bought a 10-pack. I'm going to buy another 10-pack. The purpose of these is, let's say you don't want to put a radio frequency or radio signature out there. MERS does not push far. So this is something you could use on your farm and your house, around your property. If you have a piece of property that you can communicate, but you're not pushing that signature out there. So yes, if you need to go distance, this is not the radio. If you're doing something tactical and you're doing something very close and everyone's close, this could be a radio. I like it because this radio is simple, and 6 of them for $50, so it's $8.50. So if you have a small subdivision, this could be something that you could buy to give out. The neat thing about this is MERS frequencies. It's not going to be on the family radio or the GMRS. This next one is a Retevis RT21, and this is family radio. Those are like the same radios you can go to Walmart and buy. I like having both because let's say you have a good buddy 5 houses down, and you want to talk back and forth. You could each get a MERS and you could talk, or you could each get a family radio and you could talk. Let's say you both get 1 or 2 of each. Let's say your buddy talks to you on the MERS frequencies, and your radio is set on MERS frequency, so you hear him. But don't pick up your MERS radio. Pick up your family radio and talk to him on family radio. At his house, he has both radios on. So basically what you're doing, if someone's out there with a family radio, they're going to hear 50% of the conversation. If someone has a MERS radio, they will only hear 50% of the conversation. Now, a smart guy like me and a lot of you guys would say, uh-oh, I know what they're doing because they're having a conversation. And you're going to get on your scanner, you're going to scan some frequencies, and you're going to figure it out. But 90% of the people can't do that. So if you want a little bit of privacy, or if you want to do it really quick and pass some information on, you could do it quickly if it's important stuff. By the time the person finds out what you're doing and then goes and starts scanning and figure out where the other person is, you might be able to get your message across. So that is an option. So MERS, great if you want to stay 500 yards away from your house and you don't want to send the signature out. Now, if you get on a flat road, you definitely can go a lot further. My testing is different. I got tons of trees and very hilly. All right, let's talk about the Retevis RT21. It operates the same. The only difference is the channels in there. These run about $18 each. You turn it on.
7.
I call these things idiot proof because I love them. I need something simple. That's channel 7. You can turn to channel 5. It'll tell you. There's 16 channels on here. This does have a fixed antenna because of the laws and making sure you're legal. They have to be a fixed antenna. There is an Allen key or an Allen screw right there. So just so you know, this is MERS. This one unscrews. So if you want to put another antenna, make sure you check all federal laws. You could put a better quality antenna on. Or if this antenna breaks, because you break it for some reason. So 2 very, very inexpensive radios. These are going to be easy to buy. Now, sometimes frequencies on the FRS, GMRS have privacy codes, so you need to take those off. It's very simple to take them off. There's a program called Chirp. You can get the cable for like 10 bucks, and you can take them off. I am going to be sending all my radios over to our resident commo expert, and I'm going to have every single privacy code taken off for now, so I could use them with anyone's radio. All right, we're going to step up in price. We're going to step up in quality. I will tell you, this family radio did better distance-wise and clarity than the GMRS. All right, now we're going to go into the Retevis RB27. I bought 2 or 4 of these, I cannot remember. These are $30 a piece. This is definitely a step up, and it did better range than the other 2.
Welcome. 15.
Turn it on. Very easy to use. I need easy because I'm not a tech person. I see tech, I run the other way. The neat thing about this, push the button on the side. FM radio. So that's a cool feature if you're out in the woods or you take it with you. You can listen to FM radio. It also has the weather channel on it. Simple push the weather channel. So this would be great if you're a camper, you're a hiker, and you're out with people. It has the ability to monitor 2 frequencies. These radios can only monitor 1. So you can listen to 2 and simply turn your arrow to talk to whatever ones you want to talk to. This also has the ability to store 25 stored channel, and you can use that same cable and program it. It's very easy. It also has a scan feature. So if you're sitting there and you want to see if anyone's out there, you can push the button and it will go through the frequencies. Now you can also add some frequencies to these if you want to listen to other things. You can't talk for them, but it has that capability. Very easy radio to use. Between these 2, this is hands down easier than the Baofeng. Now I know guys are saying, Dave, Baofeng's so easy. Yeah, if you're a techno guy and you like that stuff, that's very manageable. For me, I don't. But this radio right here, I can handle it. So if I can handle this, operating this radio and understanding it, you can too. So in the testing, by far, my range was better with the Retevis 27. Next, we're going to really step up. This is the Retevis NR30, and this is a GMRS radio. Now, family radio, FRS, and GMRS share same frequencies, but because of, if you have a GMRS radio and a license, you can push more power. This one, if you buy a 6-pack, it's like $42.50. So we're stepping up in price for a giveaway radio. So for me, this would not be a giveaway radio. There is a couple places in my neighborhood that's on a higher elevation that I could really talk good. So I am planning, I actually have them in my Amazon cart. I'm going to buy a few more of these just so I can communicate those longer distances. To me, it's worth investing in my community. All right, so this is the NR, I think it's the NR30. Yeah, NR30. So this is a whole different animal. I got great reception on this because this one's 10 watts. 10 watts. Just blew these ones out of the water because it's 10 watts. All right, this one has 30 channels, and these are GMRS channels. You have 22 regular GMRS channels.
20.
So I just turned it on.
19.
Simply adjusting with this. So this one is as simple as these. So it makes it easy if you do give it out. So this one has the ability to, on the button on the side, to up that power so you can get the 10 watts. It does have the programming cable capability here on the side. So all my radios are going over there, so all of the privacy codes are going to be removed so they can all talk. A lot of companies, and they send everything with a privacy code. So it's sort of a pain. If you buy different types of radios, you're going to have to get that fixed, but it's very easy to do. So this one, I was so happy with it after dealing with these. Range. What's the range on this? It depends on the terrain. It's totally terrain dependent. what you're pushing through. But you can go a few miles with this easy, even around here. So is this a giveaway radio? Probably not. But the reason I like this radio is because I'm pairing it with some base units that push 25 watts and the other one pushes 50 watts. So this gives me the ability to use this radio, and with that 25 and that 50 watt, I can really reach out and be able to communicate. To me, in a worst case grid down event, I want to know what's happening. I want to know what's happening at the end of my street. I want to know what's happening a mile away. The ultimate plan, and if you're in a good area like I am, I'm in the country, I have good people. Yes, a ton of preppers around me, and the rest of them are great, great people. I want to be able to build that network, and by having extra radios, I can expand that out. I have a little, I call it a subdivision because it was a planned community. Not like you guys think in the suburbs. Probably only 20, 25 houses at the most. But going through things, you could hand out some of these family radios. Excuse me, it'd be this one. Hand out family radios, and they could have a channel that they operate their subdivision on. They could also, we could tell them, if you need to get us, I'm just making up a number, we're going to be on channel 7. So they could have some comms in their community, and if it costs me, this is $18, it is well worth it. Now hopefully a few of those people have family radios already, but if I could get them a radio and give it to a person that I can definitely talk to, I could learn so much information. Now, when I talk about talking on a radio, in a worst case event, and things are not stable in your environment, every time you push that button to talk, you can be found very quickly. So if that's the situation, don't push the button. And that leads me into this. Can you communicate to other people in your neighborhood by physically going there? My plan, e-bikes. You jump on an e-bike, and you could book over to that subdivision and relay one message to one person, and then their job is to spread it throughout their little subdivision. Or I could go down the road where I know there's about 7 or 8 houses very close together. If I could communicate with them, they could spread it there. Or in an emergency. I'm also thinking medical emergency. If there's a medical emergency, I want to be able to communicate with people. I want people, I have medical personnel in my community. Some are not preppers at all. But that doesn't change that he's a doctor. That doesn't change that they are nurses. So if you have a strong community, you can get people motivated to help out. Especially if you have a plan. If you get a radio plan going, and you do show the community, hey, I got 15 radios to give out, 20 radios to give out, that's going to help your position to help motivate that and direct that community into taking care of themselves. Now, if you live in a subdivision, you live in a city, and you say, Dave, there's people around here that don't care one bit about this, or they believe totally opposite than this. They believe the government's going to take care of me. Yes, you're going to have problems. So, I'm going to put some links. If you got any questions, what I have found out, though, your range is really dictated by the price you're willing to pay. So, if you need that range, you're going to have to spend more money. But, MERS radios, they are so cheap, $8.50. You step up into the FRS, it's definitely more, 18, but I bet you could find other FRS radios cheaper than 18. But the reason I like these, idiot proof, and that's what I need. I hope this helps. Thanks for watching.